long-term outcome. Jordan Cove started as an import terminal that got approved in 2009. But radical changes in the energy market occurred as a new technology that you know as fracking allowed the economic production of oil and natural gas from shale. The U.S. went from shortage to surplus. Prices went from $14 to $2 for a million BTUs, and Jordan Cove became an export project. Here's the nugget. The oil business, including natural gas, has been a boom and bust affair from the very beginning. With new technology, there's now plenty of both, worldwide, which is why, as this is written, oil is $40 a barrel instead of $100, and gasoline for your SUV has a 2 handle instead of a price that starts with a 4. But painful as having Jordan Cove turned down is in Coos Bay, it's far from the worst possible outcome. More soon. I'm Gary Conley, and that's today's Money Minute.
The Bloomberg Market Report, sponsored by Pacific Continental Bank, serving your business and community in Eugene for over 40 years.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. Stocks are slipping this morning amid speculation on the outcome of a UK referendum on European Union membership and as investors assess the latest U.S. economic data. The Dow is down 47 points at 17,686. The S&P 500 is lower by 6 points, or about 0.3% at 2072. And the NASDAQ is down 26 points at 48.18. Crude oil this morning is higher, up 2.25% at $47.26 a barrel. The latest snapshot of home construction in the U.S. shows very little change in the month of May. Housing starts fell 0.3%, and permits, a proxy for future construction, were also flat from the month before, but this report was better than what analysts had been estimating beforehand. Meanwhile, both sides in the so-called Brexit debate suspended their campaigns following the murder of Labour Party lawmaker Joe Cox, who was a Remain proponent. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Clinton Foundation's back in the news, folks. The Daily Caller is reporting they took in close to $18 million from foreign governments while Hillary Clinton was still Secretary of State under Obama. Now, according to the Daily Caller, in January of this year, Clinton Foundation officials used an obscure New York State Charity Board filing to disclose the donations. Democrat Party hack Eric Schneiderman, the New York Attorney General, operates the Public Charity Division, where this incriminating disclosure was made and was kept quiet. The Clinton Foundation president, Donna Shalala, a Clinton insider, last year Shalala claimed there was absolutely no reason to believe the foundation intended to conceal the receipt of government grants. She said that the foreign donations are reported on the foundation's website. Wrong. They're not listed anywhere to this day. Now, is that too complicated? Let me break it down for you. While Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, she and Bill were taking money from foreign governments that might need official favors, and they neglected to tell anybody. When people started asking questions about the foundation's immense wealth, the Clintons revised the record about how much they took in from foreign governments, but they still tried to hide it with help from Democrat Party hacks. Now, there's a reason I call it the Clinton Crime Family Foundation. It's corrupt from head to toe. My good friends, if you own land, you know it's a true blessing, a blessing that comes with a great responsibility. And that's something my good friends at Mahindra Tractors understand. So Mahindra wants to help you be the best steward of the land you care for with workhorse tractors built to help you work smarter, not harder. Imagine how much faster you'll finish projects with a Mahindra tractor that can push more, that can pull more, and lift more than the other guys. And every single Mahindra tractor is backed by a 5-year powertrain warranty. Mahindra also wants to help take a load off your budget by giving you 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest till 2017. So I invite you to learn more about the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra, at MahindraUSA.com.
Take advantage of rock-bottom prices and test drive a Mahindra today at All Seasons Equipment in Eugene, or visit allseasonsequipment.net. That's all.
Depend on us for breaking news from the local neighborhood to the global one. We are News Radio 1120 KPNW, Eugene, Springfield.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. America is probably the world's only superpower, and that's what Russia's president says, and he accepts that. But Vladimir Putin adds, we don't need the U.S. constantly interfering, telling us how to live. Putin also says he doesn't want another Cold War, and he'll work with whoever is elected our next president. But he adds that Donald Trump's colorful and favors restoring full U.S.-Russian relations, and what's wrong with that? Italy's prime minister is at the same economic forum as Putin and just said he's personally hoping that Hillary Clinton is elected. Britain's Labour Party's just suspended all campaigning for next week's referendum on whether to leave the European Union until Monday after Parliament member Joe Cox's murder.
Prayers in an English church after an attack like that on Gabby Giffords. British lawmaker Joe Cox shot dead by a man whose motive is unclear, but he may have obtained white supremacist literature.
That's Fox's Alistair Wanklin. Some U.S. officials in the State Department are breaking ranks with the Obama administration's Syria policy, calling on America to carry out targeted airstrikes against the Assad regime to help stop the civil war there. They found the other black box to maybe solve the mystery of why that Egypt airplane crashed in the Mediterranean. Fox's Jessica Gallagher live in our Middle East Bureau.
Dave, it's damaged, but officials say they've recovered the memory from the flight data recorder. The statement from Egypt's investigative committee comes a day after the jet's cockpit voice recorder was retrieved in pieces. Investigators are hoping the boxes will tell them why the jet crashed on May 19th, shortly after entering Egypt's airspace. Cairo says it's leaning toward terrorism, but isn't ruling anything out. All 66 passengers on board were killed, Dave.
Jessica, a wildfire charring New Mexico has now burned down 24 homes.
It's devastating. Work so hard for something, it's hard.
The fire southeast of Albuquerque has burned 25 square miles so far. Some communities have evacuated. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Hi, Mike here with some info on West Eugene. Did you know there are over 400 businesses on West 6th, 7th, and 11th? Yeah, 400. And lots of them are there to help you care for your furry friends. Whether your pet needs a bath, a trim, a treat, or a toy, or even that necessary operation, you'll find the right place for all your pet's needs on West 6th, 7th, and 11th in Eugene. Hear that? That's my buddy. He's saying it's time for a new toy. Go West, pet lovers. Go West.
Warmer weather is coming. You may be ready, but is your vehicle? Midlane Truck and Equipment Repair can perform a complete inspection of your cooling and air conditioning system to ensure you and your vehicle stay cool when it gets hot out. Offering bumper-to-bumper service and repair on trucks, RVs, autos, and trailers, including general maintenance, in-frame overhauls, welding, fabricating, liftgate, and reefer repair. Call Midlane Truck and Equipment Repair now to beat the heat.
Let's back to some selling on Wall Street this morning. Fox Business Network's Nicole Petalides live at the New York Stock Exchange.
Stocks on Wall Street are coming under a little bit of pressure today, Dave. We're seeing the Dow down 32 points at 17,701. The Nasdaq down 25. The S&P 500 down 4 today. For the week, they're off the lows, had been lower yesterday, but still all three of the major averages down about 1%. The Nasdaq down 1.5%. Some of the movers here, we've seen Caterpillar, Goldman Sachs, IBM leading the Dow. We have lumber liquidators, flooring, saying that they won't sell the rest of their inventory of potentially cancer-causing flooring that came from China. That stock jumped 16%. Revlon and Elizabeth Arden come to a deal, and Arden jumps almost 50%. Back to you.
Thank you, Nicole. The price of oil is rising more than $1 this morning. It's back up over $47 a barrel, while gas slips a little more today. AAA's national average for regular is now $2.35 a gallon. A funeral is about to start in New York for a 9/11 first responder.
Lawrence T. Stack.
He's been remembered during annual 9/11 ceremonies, and today he'll be laid to rest. New York Fire Department Chief Lawrence Stack of Safety Battalion 1 was killed when the North Tower collapsed. His wife Teresa had been hoping his remains would eventually be found, but after nearly 15 years, they weren't. Stack and his wife gave blood 2 weeks before his death, hoping it would match a child suffering from cancer who needed a bone marrow transplant. The blood was never destroyed, so 2 vials will be buried. Today would have been the couple's 49th wedding anniversary. He'll be buried at the Calverton National Cemetery in Riverhead, New York. It's the first funeral for a firefighter killed on 9/11 in 10 years. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
There will be a service in Charleston, South Carolina today for the 9 people gunned down in a church Bible study that happened 1 year ago. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News Radio.
News Radio
Radio 1120 KPNW. Special Father's Day edition of the Wake Up Call or something like that. Yeah, see, look at that. You just play music and people are calling. Oh, they're giving away James Taylor tickets. It's 1120 KPNW. Morning cloud action and a chance of rain throughout the day. 69 for the top 10. Cloudy and 49 coming up tonight. Partly cloudy and a 40% chance of rain for tomorrow. July 15th. He is coming to Matthew Knight Arena. He is James Taylor. Tickets on sale right now. If you hit Matthew Knight's website, you can purchase tickets, or you can attempt to win tickets right now. And we'll say, again, encourage the dads to call in. Or, if you can take your dad, then we'll open it up to that crew as well. But we're going to have our last Wheel of Taylor spins. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to start with caller number 5. And if you can see, if you're streaming, you see what we did is we took off the grand prize slots of the wheel. Okay? So those will be nothing. If you land on the purple, you're watching the purple, you'll just get a hearty, oh, nice try from us. You have to get this little tab right here into the James Taylor JT section, okay? 541-485 KPNW. We're looking for caller number 5. So that's your caller 1. KPNW, your caller number 2. KPNW, your caller number 2. Caller number 5. And that's you. Who's this?
Yeah, my name is Don.
Don, you're halfway to James Taylor tickets coming up Matthew Night, July 15th. Are you excited?
Oh, yeah, heck yeah, man.
Think about how excited you will be if you win the tickets, okay? Are you a dad?
I am.
Happy early Father's Day.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, so give us a 1, 2, 3 spin, and we'll spin the wheel of Taylor.
1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, I got a good one on that. And, oh, man. You hit the purple. You can try back. If we might be here for a while. Thanks, Don. KPNW, who are you?
Ryan.
Ryan or Brian?
Ryan with an R.
Okay, Ryan. All right. Are you ready for the spin?
Yeah.
Okay, here comes spin number 2. Ooh. All right, what do you call that? You're in a section that's part...
Yeah, it's a gray area. Or a purplish...
Well, it was a bad... I mean, if you look... He's in that nebulous, like that one that is part purple and part... But he is on a JT.
He is.
Part of the...
Yeah. Judges?
You know what? We're going to give it to you.
Right on.
You. That's like one of those...
His most tense moment of the morning, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's all uphill from here.
Right.
All right, so we got James Taylor tickets for you. By the way, for everybody else, they go on. They're on sale. Check out the online. But by the way, who are you going to bring?
I'm going to take my dad.
There you go. How awesome is that?
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to you. Hang on, we need some details from you. 7:09. By the way, coming up after news, we're going to talk with a gentleman, Kevin Kelly, who's just a genius. If you've ever read any of his books, he is not only is he amazing, he's had an incredible life. The latest book is called The Inevitable. We'll chat with him and also get you John Cruz. All coming up with the news. Justin in for Bill on KPNW.
Some people avoid gluten because they have to. Others avoid it because they want to. At Burrito Amigos, they say either way, they can help deglutify your menu. For instance, they have taco salad. The best part is you can build it yourself with beans, your favorite meat, lettuce, tomatoes, cilantro, cheese, tasty guacamole, and sour cream on a bed of, yes, gluten-free corn tortilla chips. Keep in mind, Burrito Amigos large taco salad should have wheels and a 6-cylinder engine with a granny gear because it's so big. Now, if you're catering something, for for work, a school, or club. Just order the taco salad and you don't have to worry about figuring out a gluten-free menu or even ask if anyone requires a gluten-free meal. One thing that should also be mentioned, Burrito Amigos taco salads taste great. If you're going meat-free, Burrito Amigos has a vegetarian menu that's more extensive than most sit-down restaurants. From tofu burritos to the bueno no-cheese burrito, Burrito Amigos adds more to their menu for people who need to leave things out of theirs. Burrito Amigos, the friendly ones in Eugene and Springfield.
Hey everyone!
This is Life Tips with Geico.
Life Tip 1. Use a shower squeegee to remove pet fur from carpet.
Squeegee is also very fun to say. Consider it when naming a pet or child.
Life Tip 2. Switch to Geico and you could save hundreds on your car insurance.
With over 75 years of experience and a 97% customer satisfaction rating, they know what they're doing.
Geico. Get savings into your life. Visit geico.com today.
Hey, Russell Wilson here, and I know how important exercise is.
It's essential. It's essential.
With Play 60, United Way and the NFL are helping kids stay active and play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids. Healthy kids.
But what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60 because great things happen when we live united.
Donate.
Are you guys going to do that every time?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Ramjack has your foundation solution. Ramjack can fix that.
CCB 146906.
This is News Radio 1120 KPNW. And we've got the local story in the morning wake-up call.
And good Friday morning. This look at the news brought to you by Burrito Amigos, the friendly ones, featuring great breakfast burritos and fresh brewed locally roasted coffee for a tasty start to your morning. I'm Justin Phillips. Here's what's going on. The Eugene Mission has a mission to treat the homeless, get them off the street and into a job. Yesterday morning, they were rocked by a fire that hit the most crucial part of the building.
Everything was a total loss in the kitchen and the fire.
Beyond the kitchen, the dining room was also destroyed. The only thing that did survive was their food refrigeration system. Now they're scrambling without a kitchen and dining room.
The Eugene Mission actually serves 700 meals a day. So there's quite a need for us to continue to feed those folks who are not just guests here, but coming off the streets.
Eugene Mission Development Director Caitlin Vargas says they need help.
So what the Eugene Mission needs right now is food that is ready to eat and bottles of water.
That means deli sandwiches, fresh fruit, pizza, tuna fish, peanut butter, bread, bagels, protein bars, literally food that can be served without being heated. They hope within the next day or two to have enough donated propane and propane stoves to try and serve hot meals, but Vargas says even that will be a challenge.
So kitchen utensils, anything you can think of really in your kitchen, we don't have at this time.
Donations can be dropped off at the center at 1542 West 1st. For the first time since 2012, when the Oregon Secretary of State's office began analyzing the financial condition of counties, it's increased its ranking of Lane County's financial health. Efforts Lane County has undertaken to improve its financial condition includes everything from changing expenditures, position reductions, program restructuring. Commissioner of West Lane County, Jay Bozovich, explains that although this is good news, there is significant work still to be done.
It's not all sunshine and roses with Lane County. We're financially stable. We've done a lot of very smart things with self-insurance and paying off debt, controlling our PERS costs that have made us stable. But it's at a level of service I don't think anyone really thinks is an acceptable level of service.
He actually lays out what's lacking in Lane County.
You know, we're still barely hanging on to 24-hour patrol services. We still are not doing a really good job of controlling property crime in Lane County.
The good news is that Lane County has managed to stay above the water in time of financial difficulty. The family of a 13-year-old girl who was sexually abused on a flight from Dallas to Portland says American Airlines didn't do enough to protect her. The family had paid the extra amount to have the airline flight attendants help her. Instead, they allowed Chad Camp to sit next to her when there were other open seats on the flight. The family's attorney, Brent Goodfellow, tells K2 News Camp was talking to himself and bothering the girl.
He takes his seatbelt off and kind of climbs over her to look out the window. And that's how it started. And so
This lasted about a half an hour. Apparently about 15 different touches.
Another passenger alerted a flight attendant. They moved the girl and the witness to the front of the plane and had Kemp arrested when the flight arrived in Portland. He faces a federal charge of abusive sexual contact. American Airlines says they're committed to providing a safe travel experience for young passengers. They referred other questions to law enforcement. Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley says the shooting at the Orlando nightclub needs to bring change in gun control and anti-discrimination laws. Brad Ford reports.
Democratic senators filibustered for nearly 15 hours to force a debate on gun control measures. Senator Jeff Merkley says he expects votes on 2 bills next week.
One on the terrorism loophole and one on the background check loophole.
Merkley says the shooting also points out the need for Congress to pass anti-discrimination legislation because of the action some states are taking to remove LGBT rights.
Completely inconsistent with our vision of equality under the law. It's completely inconsistent with our vision of opportunity for all Americans.
Merkley says it encourages discrimination and attacks that have happened across the country. Brad Ford, News Radio 1120 KPNW.
A Lincoln County fugitive is back behind bars after 19 years on the run. 24-year-old Eric DeCleve of Newport was arrested in May of 1997 after admitting he gave 2 girls ages 11 and 13 controlled substances and raped them. He was released on bail and fled the country. An extradition warrant was issued. In 2004, U.S. immigration officials learned that DeCleve might be in Mexico, but agents couldn't track him down. This last February, the FBI found DeCleve living and working under an assumed name in Cancun, Mexico. He's returned to Newport this month to stand trial and is being held on $3 million bail. A Portland man's Facebook post about assault rifles has gone viral. Buck Jepson went into the U.S. gun store on Barber Boulevard and asked about assault rifles. He posted his conversation.
I thought maybe I could talk one or two of them into going into their own stores and asking questions and learning, maybe stepping back and not being quite so judgmental right away.
Jepson tells K2 News that he supports the Second Amendment but thinks there might need to be restrictions on assault-type rifles. The store posted a response that Jepson's post was not representative of what they said and was an outright fabrication. The Facebook post has been shared more than 26,000 times. About a third of the staff of an Oregon wildlife refuge that was taken over by armed protesters will probably leave their jobs because of the lingering effects of the occupation, the refugee manager said Thursday. Some worry about being confronted by other protesters who sympathize with the anti-government group that took over the Melhauer National Wildlife Refuge for 41 days earlier this year, manager Chad Carges said. Others are simply worn down by having to retell the story to others. The refuge and a staff of 16, said Carges, who was in Colorado to accept an award from the National Wildlife Federation. The award praised Carges and his staff for building a good relationship with nearby residents long before the takeover. In an interview, Carges said the refuge staff had worked for years to involve residents in decision-making, and that was the reason most opposed the occupation. A sheriff's officer says 4 Central Oregon residents were rushed to a hospital after they used a phone app to identify wild mushrooms, but ended up consuming mushrooms that were poisonous. A local television station reports that Deschutes County Sheriff Sergeant Doug Sullivan says deputies and medics responded Thursday afternoon to a report of poisoning on a private property south of Sun River. He says 2 boys aged 4 and 14 and a 34-year-old woman were showing symptoms of mushroom poisoning. A 15-year-old boy who also ate the mushrooms wasn't showing symptoms but was taken to the hospital as a precaution. Sullivan said members of several families living on the property ate the poisonous mushrooms after misidentifying them as edible with a phone app. The sheriff's office reminds the public to learn the identifying features of mushrooms and turn to experts and field guides to be sure. Sullivan urges using several field guides and adds, when in doubt, don't consume wild mushrooms. Makes sense. Typically, when there's a tie at something, the way to break it is to flip a coin. But on Friday in Salem, it will be a roll of the dice to decide the seat for Hillsborough District 30. The outcome will determine whether Republican Dan Mason or Democrat Janine Salmon will get the independent party nod. The tiebreaker will take place at the Capitol with both candidates present. The winner will end up on the ballot in November. And finally, Oregon's berry crop has survived record winter rain and several early season heat waves and looks to be of good quality, according to crop consultant Tom Pierbolt. The Marion, Oregon's top blackberry is typically harvested around the 4th of July, but the weather will allow it to be harvested 2 weeks early this year. It was also available early last year as well, but Peerbolt says the additional moisture helped the process of the crop this season. This Look at the News has been brought to you by Burrito Amigos, the Friendly Ones. I'm Justin Phillips. You're up to date on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
Wake Up Call Sports on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
Kind of incredible to think that there were some at one point thinking the Golden State Warriors were going to sweep Cleveland. And now we're looking at Game 7 happening on Sunday. Last night, LeBron James put the team on his shoulders, had his second consecutive game of 41 points. Cavs shoot down the Warriors 115-101. 3 quick fouls hampered Kevin Love. For the Warriors, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, 55 points combined. Curry was actually ejected for the first time in his career after throwing his famous mouthpiece. No team has ever come back from being down 3-1. In Seattle Copa Soccer, U.S. held off Ecuador 2-1. Clint Dempsey with the first goal. U.S. Open at Oakmont, the winner on day 1, the weather. As only 9 players finished their rounds, they'll have the dubious task of trying to get their round 1 finished and then start on round 2. Andrew Landry, who still the clubhouse leaders at 4 under. Lee Westwood and Scott Piercy second at 3 under. Forecast, by the way, today, some clouds and sunshine and a high of 84. Rain chance 10%. U-Boat track stars Devin Allen and Edward Cheserek selected as men's finalists for the Bowerman, the equivalent of the Heisman Trophy in track and field. Former Barlow High star out of Gresham, Ryan Krauser, also on the list. And last night, the Land Green hardwood floor softball team beat Late for Dinner in extra innings in the over 50A League Shasta Ball Field, said Rob Holloway. That's awesome, but I was in the training room hot tub, so I missed it. But way to go, team. Wake Up Call Sports on KPNW, brought to you by Max Muscle. Try the new Max Pro Protein Powder lineup flavors, chocolate malt, blueberry, and strawberry banana. On Franklin, across from Market of Choice, news time, 7:22.
KPNW weather, brought to you by Ramjack West. Do you have foundation problems? Ramjack can fix that. Get your free quote at ramjackwest.com.
For the rest of the week, we've got some slow-moving weather patterns as this upper-low pressure system lingers in our region. The upper low will eventually move northeast, but that will take until late Saturday, so you can expect scattered showers Saturday morning. Later, we will see a high-pressure system build, bringing temperatures to the 90s. I'm Sarah Madison with your NBC 16 Weather Report.
Ramjack leads the way in foundation repair. Protect your investment. Get your free in-home evaluation at ramjackwest.com. Check out our exceptional online reviews, then choose Ramjack.
CCB 146906.
Hi, everybody. This is Don Essig with today's Motivational Minute, brought to you by Builders Electric, providing smart electrical service since 1960. It's pretty interesting how much time and effort is spent on many focusing on money. How much they have, maybe how much they'd like to have. Well, Margaret Walker once said this: friends and good manners will carry you where money won't go. In other words, you don't need money to create good friends. You don't need money to develop good manners in life. And oftentimes, good manners will greatly contribute to you creating even more friends. Besides, money can't buy either of those. So today, try focusing on the friends you have, how you got them with good manners. It's a great feeling. This is Don Essig with today's Motivational Minute. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, have a positive day.
Today's Motivational Minute was sponsored by Builders Electric, voted the Register Guard's 2015 Reader's Choice #1 electrical contractor, providing positive service for over 55 years. That's Builders Electric, CCB 4296.
For the all-new John Deere riding mowers, tractors, and side-by-sides, think Ramsey Waite.
Make treks to Ramsey Waite for John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers.
There's nothing like a John Deere Gator utility vehicle. From hardworking and trail-ready to the ultimate in work capability. Get into a Gator now at Ramsey Waite.
Don't just dream about it, wait for it.
Ramsey Waite.
Open Monday through Saturday. Franklin Boulevard, Glenwood. Online at RamseyWaite.com.
Is your multivitamin really working? If it's pill form, probably not. Max Muscle has a liquid multivitamin called VitaCell, providing 100% or more of your daily value of vitamins and minerals. And it tastes great. Buy one, get one free this month. Stop by, give it a try. Max Muscle, Franklin Boulevard.
When you think fishing or firearms, think Mazama.
Local, family-owned Mazama is your firearms headquarters and home to the Build an AR wall. Custom build an AR with all your favorite parts. They are Lane County's only CZ dealer, and they have a large selection of shotguns, rifles, handguns, and scopes with free bore sighting.
Team Mazama is eager and knowledgeable. They offer gun safety and concealed carry classes. Conveniently located on West 11th in the same parking lot as Lowe's. Get to Mazama and get hooked on the good life.
When you think fishing or firearms, think Mazama.
Building or remodeling? Get qualified and reliable contractors, suppliers, and subcontractors through the Home Builders Association of Lane County. Visit hbalanecounty.org or call the Home Builders Association and get help from the experts.
Holloway in London.
Why are you torturing me?
On News Radio 1120 KPNW.
Somebody, I don't know who it was, called Kevin Kelly the real-life most interesting man in the world. And I think that's what he should have in his business card. Kevin is a co-founder of Wired Magazine, co-founder of the Quantified Self Movement, and is on the board of the Long Now Foundation. His book is called The Inevitable, one of many books that if you have not checked out, you probably should pick up and just do a perusal of. The amazing Kevin Kelly joining us now on the Wake Up Call. Kevin, great to have you on the show.
Oh, it's a real privilege to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, out of curiosity, if you do have a business card, what do you have on there? Because I'm thinking about with your list of credits and everything that you have your hands in, it's got to be like 2 or 3 business cards in size.
Well, it says Wired Magazine Senior Maverick.
I love that. But
yeah, I was promoted from being the junior Maverick, and now I'm the senior Maverick.
It comes with the wisdom. You talk about that part, and then other parts you could have a card for adventurer, because a famous part of your life, a certain segment, had you living your life out as if you had only 6 months left to live. You gave away all your earthly possessions and journeyed on a bicycle. And I think for a lot of people who've kind of had that thought, it was just an amazing concept. But what was it like to actualize that? And what was the life lesson? What was the takeaway during that and after that as you think about it?
Well, yeah. So I took the admonishment of the early whole earth catalogs, which was to invent your life. So I'm a college dropout, and I went to Asia, and then eventually I did some stuff in the U.S., including riding my bicycle across the country with 6 months to live, which was an assignment I gave myself. And one of the things I discovered from that was if you're going to if you know your death date and you approach it, what happens is that you kind of cut off the future. And as I got closer and closer to that date, I kind of realized that having a future is actually the most human thing to do. Is that we are really built to look forward to what's coming. And so I became a lot more interested in trying to think about what is in our future, because it was also clear to me that having a future, having a place that we wanted to go to was really instrumental. And I think a lot of the science fiction that we have these days is of a future we don't want. And I'm trying to actually make a vision of a future that we want to go to.
So, I mean, a lot of people have the Mad Max type of world predicted for the future, and
yeah.
Having a 5-year-old, I think about this question a lot, the future. From what your feelings are and what you see, your Kevin Kelly crystal ball, what does it look like?
Well, I think I have to say that we can look and expect some long, big tendencies, trends or forces you might think that work at a very large, high level, kind of the rough outlines. But the specifics are not really predictable by anybody. So the way I would say it is like, telephones were sort of inevitable on any planet that discovered electricity, but the iPhone is not. The Internet was inevitable. but the Twitter was not. So the kinds of things I'm talking about is like AI and artificial intelligence and virtual reality. These are coming whether we really want them or not. But the specifics of the brand of the gear or whether this is an open or closed system, none of those are predictable. We have a lot of choice about it, and that's sort of what I'm talking about. Is that we can kind of steer technology by embracing it, not by trying to stop it.
So you would say it's more of a resource and an ally instead of a destructive gnat just kind of buzzing around. You see it more for the good.
Well, I think inevitably there are going to be ways to abuse it, ways to weaponize it, and the more powerful the technology, the more powerful the abuse. So I'm not a utopian. I'm what I call a protopian. I believe in progress, incremental creeping towards betterment. Maybe 1% difference a year. So it's small, and there's lots of bad stuff and crap and horrible harm that will be made by the things that we invent. But I think there's a very slight net gain, and that net gain makes it worth it. So we're going to make AI, artificial intelligence, and there will be some downsides to that for sure. There will be loss of jobs like truck drivers and others. But the number of new jobs that we make will exceed the ones that are lost, and we'll make entirely new vocations and entirely new kinds of jobs with the AI as well. So I think in general, I'm an optimist because of history. But I don't want to leave the notion that there's not going to be huge problems as well.
By the way, Kevin Kelly, author of The Inevitable, on the Wake Up Call, if we're pulling away in 2016 from face-to-face communication, if we all have our faces in our smartphone and we're doing the email thing and the text thing, I mean, what is going to be relating to each other? What is that going to look like in 30 years?
Well, I've been around long enough to know that when the Internet was first coming, that was a really common concern was, we're going to go virtual, we'll be digital characters, we'll spend all our day typing in front of these green monitors, which were just all green at that point. And people like myself suspected from my early, I've been online since 1981, that we knew that one of the weirdest things is that when people met virtually, that only increased their desire to meet physically. And so my prediction was that, physical travel would increase at the same time that the digital connections were increasing, and that's what we saw. So my prediction would be that virtual reality, spending time in these imaginary places, these synthetic worlds, will actually only increase the value of being somewhere else physically. And so I suspect that both of these things are going to increase. This is both the time that we spend in these virtual worlds are connected through electrons, and that will increase our desire to spend time physically, face-to-face, or in the physical world.
So many things happen in the world that make people fearful to travel and maybe just want to stay close to home. You've done an immense amount of traveling on a regular basis. You're out seeing parts of the world. Talk about the importance to gain a perspective and a balance of seeing other parts, meeting other people in other parts of the world that maybe they'd never come in contact with if they stayed close to home.
Yeah, I travel almost systematically in order to keep my mind flexible, because when I'm traveling, I'm confronting otherness and other ways of seeing things, and that requires that I kind of change my mind or change my viewpoint. And seeing things differently, having a different idea, thinking different is actually the only engine of wealth and innovation in the new economy. And it becomes more and more difficult to think differently when everybody's connected. And so I find that the more I'm connected to everybody else, the more important it is to get out of where I am and get to someplace else, because it forces me to have different ideas it forces me to think differently. So I go to China a lot, and every time I go to China, I feel I know less about China than when I came last time, because I'm just having to relearn things constantly. And I think that relearning is an essential part of what travel does, and I think even will be an essential part of when we do virtual travel, connecting with other people who are in different cultures and being able to feel like we're there and to be empathetic with them. I think that VR will be a huge engine in allowing people who don't have the resources right now to travel to be able to travel in a different way and still have that same kind of thing where they're forced to think differently.
You said before that we have to get good at believing in the impossible. What do you mean by that? And if you could, maybe give an example.
Yeah, well, you know, one thing, if you turn on any computer or your smartphone, you can access the Wikipedia. The Wikipedia is an impossible thing. It just should not work. You should not have an encyclopedia that anybody, some 12-year-old kid in Jakarta can change the entry on George Washington. Like, that should not work. And yet, here is this amazing achievement of humankind where you could have this instantly updatable encyclopedia for free that covers everything you could possibly imagine in any language in the world. Okay, so that's an impossible thing. And there are so many examples like that we have now that just simply seem to be impossible, that I think we have to get better at allowing ourselves to imagine these things, like the things I'm talking about, you know, an artificial intelligence that's a conversational bot that anticipates what you're going to do during the day. It's kind of like a GPS for your life. It's always ahead of you, giving you, preparing for what you're doing. If you change your mind, you know, it says, oh, I have another idea. I'll go this way. I'll prepare this one. And then, I've changed my mind again. No problem. I have two other options. And so that sounds impossible right now, but we have to get better at believing these things, because what technology is giving us is this new set of tools that have never existed before, which allows us to do things at the scale of billions of people working collaboratively together in real time. That makes these impossible things possible.
Whomever our fearless leader is going to be, if you could sit down with that person and maybe a couple other world leaders that are, you know, very influential, what would you say to them if you could kind of have their ear for, you know, 45 minutes to kind of prepare them and kind of give them a glimpse of what you see? What would that chat entail?
It's a really great question. I think I would say, first of all, that in order to steer and manage and civilize these inevitable things coming, that we need to engage with them, that we can't steer if we prohibit them or dial them back or tone them down or stop them. That is only through embrace that we actually get to steer things. And so I would suggest a wholehearted embrace in terms of engaging, using, trying, steering these things, and that they should, you know, without fear, try them out, and through that use, we can make them better. And then the second thing I would say is that there are lots of things are coming that we shouldn't really be ruled by their downsides, because all of these great things will have a price. They will have a cost, and that we should really look at the net gain. For instance, once we have these self-driving cars on the road, it is inevitable that one of these robot cars will kill somebody, and people will just go bananas with outrage. But we humans kill 1 million people with automobile deaths every year, and we're not outraged by that at all. I mean, it's kind of strange why we accept the fact that humans kill 1 million people, but we're not going to allow robots to kill one. And so we have to kind of accept the fact that there is a cost, that, you know, robots will kill some people, but they're going to kill a whole lot less than we kill. And so we really have to not be ruled by the downsides of these technologies, but look at the positive net gain.
It is amazing the more you get to talk about and see where you've been and what you've done, that no one has turned your life into a movie. When that does happen, Who would you pick as the actor to portray you? It's going to happen.
I don't. George Clooney, somebody who's handsome, witty, smart, and empathetic. Somebody not like me.
Somebody not like you. Well, good thing there is you, Kevin. Hey, incredible book and incredible books, and thank you so much for the time. We'll definitely have you back on your next venture.
Well, I really appreciate your interest. And by the way, one of the trends that we're headed to is that if you want an answer, you ask a machine. But if you want a great question, that's the job for humans, and you ask some of the best questions. I really appreciate it.
Wow. Thank you very much. Kevin Kelly, the book is called The Inevitable. He is the co-founder, I like what he said, the senior maverick of Wired Magazine. On the Wake Up Call, News Radio 1120, KPNW 740.
The Bloomberg Market Report, sponsored by Pacific Continental Bank, serving your business and community in Eugene for over 40 years.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. Stocks are slipping this morning amid speculation on the outcome of a UK referendum on European Union membership and as investors assess the latest U.S. economic data. The Dow is down 47 points at 17,686. The S&P 500 is lower by 6 points, or about 0.3% at 2072. And the Nasdaq is down 26 points at 48.18. Crude oil this morning is higher, up 2.25% at $47.26 a barrel. The latest snapshot of home construction in the U.S. shows very little change in the month of May. Housing starts fell 0.3%, and permits, a proxy for future construction, were also flat from the month before, but this report was better than what analysts had been estimating beforehand. Meanwhile, both sides in the so-called Brexit debate suspended their campaigns following the murder of Labour Party lawmaker Joe Cox, who was a Remain proponent. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Pacific Continental Bank is proud to call the Eugene-Springfield area home for more than 40 years. As your local banker, partner, and neighbor, we are committed to the health and sustainability of your business and our community. We know it takes more than a loan or deposit to help you succeed. It takes people who know you, your business, and your community. Who says we can't be more than a bank? Pacific Continental Bank, the right bank. Learn more at therightbank.com. Member FDIC.
The best window sale in Oregon just keeps getting better.
Discount Windows Final 99 sale.
Thousands of overstock windows on site, including Ply Gem windows.
Factory first overstock windows, just $99 each.
Or less.
Why less, Vic? $99 is an amazing deal.
Lee, the lowest prices on overstock is one reason we're Discount Windows.
You're good, and so is this sale.
Discount Windows, Highway 99, Junction City, open 7 days a week.
A Budweiser, America, and Florida-Georgia line.
I still remember our first big show. Budweiser's in the air, and hearing the crowd sing our song.
That's when it really feels like America is in our hands.
And when I'm holding an ice cold Budweiser that says America on the front.
That too. Cheers.
This Bud's for you.
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Bill and Tim's is barbecue and a whole lot more.
Bill, barbecue is the very air we breathe.
I know, Tim, but it isn't for everyone all the time. That's why Bill and Tim's expanded menu is a big hit.
True, we don't look like a men's club in here anymore.
Golden mac and cheese balls, Mexican specialty dishes, gourmet salads. What new dish will you be trying today, Tim?
I'm ready to branch out.
Great.
Give me the barbecue bacon cheeseburger.
Tim. Bill and Tim's Barbecue.
Open at 11 daily.
13th and Pearl in Eugene.
Guys, when you buy your clothes at DXL, you look good. But you feel like a rock star. So if you want to look and feel like a... You'll find all the brands you love, waist size 38 and up, all in one awesome store. DXL, you're looking good. For every $75 spent in-store through Father's Day, get a $25 coupon good June 20th through July 4th.
What is it about buying a mattress that leaves you feeling violated? Pushy salespeople, fake sales, the walk of shame out of the mattress store? Those days are over. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, co-founder of Helix Sleep, where you can buy a mattress online, customized for you, for hundreds of dollars instead of thousands. Go to helixsleep.com, answer a few simple questions, and we build you the most comfortable mattress you'll ever sleep on. Shipping is free, and you have 100 nights to try it out. Go to helixsleep.com/go and get $50 off your order. That's helixsleep.com/go.
The Wake Up Call is live on air and online from the Widmer Brothers studio Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9. Click on the Wake Up Call banner on KPNW.com and see and hear up-to-the-minute news as well as interviews and more. The Wake Up Call goes down easy, just like a Widmer ale.
KPNW weather brought to you by Ramjack West. Do you have foundation problems? Ramjack can fix that. Get your free quote at ramjackwest.com.
Tonight, showers and possibly a thunderstorm before midnight. Then a chance of showers. Low around 49. West-northwest wind 5 to 9 miles per hour, becoming calm after midnight. Chance of showers is 80%. I'm Sarah Madison with your NBC 16 weather report.
Hello there, and welcome to the exciting world of
Holloway in London and the Wake Up Call. News Radio 1120 KPNW.
He's an author. He's an outdoorsman. He's a public speaker. He used to be a public servant. And he is the host of Northwestern Outdoors and now the national show. He's got so many projects. It's going to take like 20 minutes to have the introduction these days, but he is still the down-to-earth, the humble Johnny Cruz joining us on the Wake Up Call. John, welcome back.
Glad to be back. I actually think I like your lead-ins better than Bill's. You don't have the beat down at the end like Bill does.
He does kind of, build you up, and you're like, oh yeah, and it smacks you right in the gut.
I know.
The throat kick.
It's psychologically not so good.
So I talked about, the public speaking and the author. I just kind of threw that out there. But when's the book coming out? There's got to be some books of your adventures.
I don't think so. I think I'm plenty busy with 2 radio shows right now. So we're going to stick with that for now, and I'm very happy to just be doing 2 radio shows.
Is that, listen to what you say. Is that kind of surreal? Do you ever sit there and kind of go, did I just say that? 2 radio programs? That's a nationwide and a regional show. That's pretty cool.
I tell people I'm very blessed, and I'm very lucky, and if a dumb guy like me can pull this off, anybody can.
Let's start on the national show, because we air both. What's going to be on the national show this weekend?
This is going to be fun. So we're going to start off with kind of a tutorial on how to fish a lure called a swim bait, which is popular in California. It's starting to become popular here in the Northwest. We'll tell you about shooting a 50 caliber AR-15 rifle, which is like a AR-15 on steroids. We'll explain why shooting steel targets at the range is way more fun than shooting paper targets. We'll go ahead and have a debate between spray-on bed liners versus drop-in bed liners. Continue a debate with V6 versus V8 engines for your half-ton pickup truck, and then tell you what the heck a range camp is.
Are you also going to tell us the meaning of life?
That'll be next week.
Spray-on versus drop-in. Did that get kind of messy? Was there expletives and people hurting each other?
No, there wasn't. But it's believe it or not, it was really interesting. I had no idea. That's as you know, that's the fun thing about radio is you'll go in to do an interview thinking you're going to talk about one thing, and you learn entirely something else.
So it changed your perspective on the whole bedliner of the truck.
It did, and it might change our listeners as well.
The swim bait, because it's fun to say. Can you kind of give us a synopsis of what it is?
Well, a swim bait is meant to imitate a fish, and they're usually larger baits. They can be small, but they're usually larger baits. But I've always fished them thinking, I'll just kind of reel it back like a fish would swim through the water. And I've been doing it completely wrong, and that's why I never catch fish. So another great thing about being the host of an outdoors radio show is, I don't know how to do this right. I'm going to talk to somebody who knows how to do it right, and I'll share that on the air.
That's awesome. All right, the Northwestern Outdoors are kind of our own special version of that show. What's happening on it?
Well, we're talking to one of my favorite guides who lives in your neck of the woods, Jody Smith. We'll be talking about smallmouth bass fishing on the Umpqua River. Ooh. Everyone talks about steelhead and salmon down there, but there's an incredible smallmouth bass fishery. Jody's going to tell you about that. We'll talk about trout fishing on Idaho's St. Joe River with Derek Darce with St. Mary's Flies. And we'll talk about hiking the Wonderland Trails, a 93-mile trail around Mount Rainier with Kendra Ramos with the Washington Trails Association.
Did you do that?
I have not done that. It's on my bucket list. That's why I wanted to get it on the air so I could figure out how to do it.
You know, I mean, as I listen to both schedules, that is incredible. You have a huge array of stuff on each of those shows. How do you do that? How do you plan a show with all that kind of subject matter, and now do it times two?
I was always worried when I started the first show that I would run out of things to talk about, and I have never, ever had that problem. If anything, I'm always leaving stuff on the cutting room floor because I can't get to everything. So at least now with two shows, I have the opportunity to cover a lot more than I ever did before. And so it's just a ton of fun.
How much, if you look at one of these shows, how much is contributed from other people, in other words, people in, say, Eugene or people in parts of Washington? They go, hey, I haven't heard you talk about this. You should.
A healthy percentage is, especially with the national show, because we're working with Northwest Sportsman Magazine. They're the presenting sponsor. So they actually come up with quite a few ideas of, hey, would you consider covering this? And that's been a lot of fun. But sometimes we will get stuff just from listeners saying, hey, I'm the inventor of this, or would you consider talking about that? And if it's interesting, we'll get them on the air.
And if you want it and you want to see it, because I'm sure those inventors, they have to send you their whatever, and you have to try it out. You probably have a whole garage filled of cool stuff that you get from these companies.
Yeah, I do. And some stuff not so cool. But that's okay too.
All right, can you share one of the things? You don't have to give the name brand or the company, but can you give us an example of one of the things that comes to mind when you think of the not so cool list?
The worst thing I ever got was a board game, and it was called the Camping Game. And I took it out, and my daughter was like, 7 or 8 years old at the time and loved board games, and we tried to play it, and it was awful. It was A, the rules were convoluted, B, it was boring, and it was the worst thing ever. It looked wonderful in the box, but once you actually took it out of the box and tried to play it, it was the worst board game ever. And that I think that ended up at a garage sale somewhere. Not even a garage sale. I think we just gave it to Goodwill.
I imagine a game like that would make you think, you know what, we could be camping. Let's finish the game another time. Let's go out and go hiking. That
was outdoors. Pretty much what happened, yes.
All right, so we got sunny and almost 90 degrees on Father's Day Sunday. That day and anything else going on this weekend, what people should be doing?
Well, 3 quick things. Number one, again, we're talking to Jody Smith about fishing the Umpqua River for smallmouth bass. This is a great time of year to get out there. You can catch dozens of bass on a good day, especially if you're fishing from a boat. But you don't even need a boat. There's lots of access down there. Head on down there with just a jig and a plastic grub. You're going to catch a whole bunch of bass. It's just a lot of fun. Another fishery that's just a ton of fun is shad fishing. This is traditionally the week that is the best week to fish right below Bonneville Dam for American shad. They're like 1 to 5 pounds, really scrappy fighters. Over 850,000 of them have passed through the dam already. And you use something called a shad dart, which is basically an odd-shaped jig and like a half-ounce to three-quarter-ounce weight. And you can catch a bucket full of these puppies. The table fare, not so good, but they're great crab bait, they're great sturgeon bait, and they're just a ton of fun to catch.
Shad anywhere in these parts?
There is a shad fishery in the Umpqua River, but that has already peaked. So there's not so many shad in the Umpqua right now. If you really want to get into it, you're going to want to head to the Columbia River in Bonneville, or the Willamette near Oregon City's got some as well.
Gotcha. Not too far away. And you said 3 quick things. I think that was 2, if I was counting correct.
Well, last but not least, it's Father's Day. And, just if your dad is able to do so, take him out for a hike, take him out for a bike ride or a fishing trip. Go to the beach, go to the forest, go to the lake. It doesn't matter. Just go spend some time with your dad outside. He'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate it. It'll make for a great day.
You know what? That is a great idea. And my dad was talking about wanting to go to a movie, which I think we can still do, but maybe before that or after that, there's so many places to go. I mean, we are hiking rich here. That is great. I'm going to take your advice. I think that's a great idea.
Glad to hear it, Rob.
What do you have planned? You're big father. I mean, aside from working on a couple of shows, what are you going to be doing Father's Day? Do you have any idea? Any inkling?
I'm celebrating Father's Day a little late. I'm actually packing my bags this weekend, getting some shows done, and then I am heading to Port Hardy, BC for a week of salmon, halibut, and red snapper fishing with the family.
God. And that's your job, and you're getting paid. You can write everything off.
I know. Don't be jelly.
It's too late. John, hey, thank you for the time. Great report, and happy early Father's Day.
Thank you. Back at you, Rob. Take care.
Have a great time in BC. John Cruz on the Wake Up Call. 7:54. Coming up, we're going to check in with Amanda from the house party. She's doing a donation kick to get anything and everything for the Eugene mission. In the 8 o'clock hour, she's going to be over there at International Fitness. And even though, maybe you sometimes listen to KDUC or you don't even know what KDUC is, stop by. It's all about the Eugene mission this weekend. Getting ready for Truck Fest tomorrow, 11 to 3 over there on the riverside of Valley River Center. Coming up next hour, we're going to have Crush Burger coming in. They have a special burger. I'm kind of like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird because we're thinking about trying to get Eugene mission, get them food and non-perishables and bottled water, and yet Crush Burger might be bringing food in to talk about the Truck Fest. So we'll have to deal with the guilt somehow. Also, Craig Chi, Uke God is going to be in studio. Get ready for tonight. News Radio 1120 KPNW. Stand by. Morning clouds, and now we see those clouds. Might be experiencing some rain. If you're not, it's on the way to high of 69.
You're independent and want to stay that way, but you'd like some friendship and security. Consider Eugene's elegant yet affordable retirement living, Turpinning Terrace. At Turpinning Terrace, friendships grow through activities, the all-day restaurant-style dining, and the warm community environment. The large studio, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom apartments are the best value in Eugene. They have a secure parking garage and are near excellent retail stores. Call for a free tour and lunch, 689-0619. Turpinning Terrace, a tremendous time of life.
Viagra. There, I've said it. If you're a male, chances are you might benefit from this medication. It's time for a conversation about all the benefits of Viagra, not just giggle. Viagra is expensive. River Road Health Mart Pharmacy can make it affordable for you. A generic alternative medication for Viagra is now available. The same active ingredient in Viagra and generic 20 milligram tablets for less than $3 each. River Road Health Mart Pharmacy even delivers to your home or office. Find them online at pharmacyeugene.com.
I'm Bill London, and when I go shopping for ammo, Gunrunner Arms in Junction City's my first choice because of their selection and their prices. 223s are 37 cents a round all summer, and they regularly have 22 long rifle ammo. Gunrunners also has plenty of firearms like Colt, Ruger, Henry, Springfield, and Smith & Wesson. To protect the firearms that protect you, get a U.S.-made Liberty safe at Gunrunner Arms. From small biometric safes to large collection safes, Gunrunners has them. Gunrunner Arms, the fastest-growing gun shop in the valley at the intersection of Highway 99 and 36 in Junction City.
And last but not least, the backyard.
Wow, is that new siding? How'd you fit that into the budget?
Well, actually, that's the old siding.
No way.
Yeah, a little sanding and some Rada cover coat exterior paint with a lifetime warranty made it look brand new.
You know, now you just need a trampoline.
Well, my birthday is next week.
Keep dreaming, buddy.
Trust the professionals at Rada Paint. Find the expert nearest you at radapaint.com.
Rada Paint. Finish right. I'm Gary Conley with today's Money Minute. Recently, I reported that the Jordan Cove natural gas export terminal in Coos Bay was nixed by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, depriving the state of a $7.5 billion construction project, Coos County of the possibility of literally doubling its property tax revenue, or at least the assessed valuation, and the area of 150 permanent jobs. But that was not the only, or even the most likely, long-term outcome. Jordan Cove started as an import terminal that got approved in 2009. But radical changes in the energy market occurred as a new technology that you know as fracking allowed the economic production of oil and natural gas from shale. The U.S. went from shortage to surplus. Prices went from $14 to $2 for 1 million BTUs, and Jordan Cove became an export project. Here's the nugget. The oil business, including natural gas, has been a boom and bust affair from the very beginning. With new technology, there's now plenty of both, worldwide, which is why, as this is written, oil is $40 a barrel instead of $100, and gasoline for your SUV has a 2 handle instead of a price that starts with a 4. But painful as having Jordan Cove turned down is in Coos Bay, It's far from the worst possible outcome. More soon. I'm Gary Conley, and that's today's Money Minute.
KPNW weather brought to you by Ramjack West. Do you have foundation problems? Ramjack can fix that. Get your free quote at ramjackwest.com.
For the rest of the week, we've got some slow-moving weather patterns as this upper low pressure system lingers in our region. The upper low will eventually move northeast, but that will take until late Saturday, so you can expect scattered showers Saturday morning. Later, we will see a high pressure system build, bringing temperatures to the 90s. I'm Sarah Madison with
Fox
your NBC
News,
16
fair
weather
and
report.
balanced. We report, you decide. On News Radio 1120 KPNW Eugene Springfield.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. It's been 1 year since a white gunman opened fire during a Bible study, killing 9 black members of a Charleston, South Carolina church. That's from a memorial service in a Charleston arena going on now.
How many of you believe that your faith is stronger than fear? Come on. Love is stronger than hate. Come on.
The accused killer, Dylan Roof, could get the death penalty. More funerals are planned today and tomorrow in Orlando.
Over 200 free airline tickets have been provided to grieving families to reunite them with their loved ones.
Mayor Buddy Dyer, a section of the city cemetery has been set aside as a memorial site for the 49 people massacred Sunday. Wildfires are torching areas from California to Arizona to New Mexico.
Sadness for the whole community, all the people around us, and just asking the Lord to help us all.
The fire near her, southeast of Albuquerque, has that city covered in a haze. It scorched 25 square miles, burned down 24 homes. Russia's president says he doesn't want another Cold War, but says the U.S. can't constantly interfere with their affairs. Vladimir Putin also calls Donald Trump colorful, and what's wrong with Trump wanting to restore full U.S.-Russian relations? Putin also praised former President Bill Clinton. There's dissent in the ranks at the State Department over the U.S.'s Syria policy. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, dozens of State Department diplomats want the U.S. to do more to stop the civil war in Syria, which has led to a refugee crisis. The Wall Street Journal reports an internal memo calls for targeted airstrikes on the regime of President Bashar al-Assad in an effort to pressure the Syrian government into a ceasefire. The White House has expressed concerns that attacking the Syrian regime could lead to a confrontation with Russia, which is helping the U.S.-led coalition against ISIS, but wants Assad to remain in power. Dave.
Rachel, rock star Meatloaf is stable and recovering well in a Canadian hospital the morning after he collapsed on stage in Edmonton. A spokesman says Meatloaf suffered from severe dehydration. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
This tip of the week brought to you by Neurospine Institute.
You probably don't think about your neck much until it hurts. With stresses such as poor posture, tension, muscle strain, or injuries from accidents or sports, it's no wonder your neck is at risk for pain and injury. The physicians at Neurospine Institute can diagnose the cause of your neck problem through a physical exam and diagnostic tests. Then, they'll determine the best course of treatment for you through improved self-care, physical therapy and exercise, medication, or surgery.
Are you living with chronic pain? The specialists at Neurospine Institute can diagnose the problem and develop a personalized treatment plan to address your symptoms. Their comprehensive services include clinical and surgical procedures, sports medicine, physical therapy, medical imaging, and pain management. Neurospine Institute's medical professionals will work closely with your primary care or referring physician to ensure that you receive the best care and treatment. They serve all of Western Oregon with 2 locations. The main campus in Eugene and their Roseburg clinic. Visit neurospinellc.com today and get your life back.
New warning signs are being put up at Disney World.
All around bodies of water at Walt Disney World, visitors and vacationers will now see signs warning people of the presence of alligators. The decision to post the warnings comes after a horrifying incident in which a gator appeared at Disney's Seven Seas Lagoon, the big man-made lake near Magic Kingdom, and attacked a 2-year-old, dragging him underwater and killing him. In Orlando, Eben Brown, Fox News.
Now, the parents of that little boy from Nebraska have issued a statement saying they are devastated and that words cannot express the shock and grief they are experiencing. Pope Francis has ruffled some Catholic feathers with what he said about marriage.
In these comments, Pope Francis said many marriages may be invalid because the couples do not acknowledge permanence. Catholic teaching holds that marriage is a sacrament, something that's divine and only ends in death. Some Catholic commentators taking issue with the Pope for appearing to belittle marriages that may be loving and stable, even if the pair don't understand the theological underpinnings. But in his comments Thursday, the Pope went on to touch on a more familiar theme, saying the problem couples face stems from living in a throwaway culture. Alistair Wanglin, Fox News.
They are Cavs crazy in Cleveland.
Yes! Go Cavs! LeBron is not losing the game 7 in Golden State. You already know that. The ship is ours. Parade on Tuesday. Let's go!
They were fired up after LeBron James scored 41 points to lead the Cavaliers past the Warriors in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, 115-101. Golden State star Steph Curry fouled out, then was ejected for throwing his mouth guard into the crowd.
You know, it's obviously frustrating fouling out in the fourth quarter of a clinching game.
Game 7 Sunday night in Oakland, the Warriors trying to win a second straight title. The Cavaliers hoping to give Cleveland its first major sports championship in 52 years. On Wall Street, another sell-off today. The Dow's down 100 points. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News Radio.
.805 News Radio 1120 KPNW with the wake-up call. Bill on assignment. Justin in for he. It's morning clouds that now we are experiencing. A little bit of rain throughout the day. 69 for the high. Cloudy and 49 overnight. Tomorrow, Truck Fest. That's the weather forecast. A benefit for the Eugene mission. Already getting calls and emails about that. And, of course, in the wake of the horrific fire yesterday, it's all about the community getting together. And we've already had some great calls and emails of people wanting to know how to help. Had a couple people even not know where the Eugene mission is in Eugene. If you either don't know or maybe don't have time to get there, but you might be able to get a couple of minutes to get things together to bring by the International Fitness location over there, Delta Oaks. We've got Amanda, the morning show goddess from the house party, over there for the next, say, 54 minutes taking donations. Amanda?
Yes, indeed, Robo. We were over here. I guess I should call you Rob on this show, huh? We were over here, International Fitness, right off of Green Acre. I'm going to be here till 9 o'clock accepting donations on behalf of the Eugene mission. I want to give a huge shout-out to the GM of this International Fitness, Daniel. He just went and brought me 6 cases of water, which is awesome. They're definitely in need of bottles of water, ready-to-eat food. They do have refrigeration still, so even things that can be kept cold, cheese, veggies, other perishables, they can still accept things like that. But, you know, things like bread, bagels.
Hello? I think we lost her. That may be a good sign that she's just being ransacked with people as far as trying to stay. Okay, so she is over there at the International Fitness Delta Oaks. Not that far away from a Walmart that I do believe is 24 hours, so you can go over there and do some water. I think if everybody does a little bit, and some people do a little bit more, I think we should be okay. So don't think that you have to spend hundreds of dollars, even though some people are stepping up with these monumental gifts of generosity. For example, Hagen Albertsons. Got to throw a special shout out, because when Bill and I were talking about this off the air yesterday, it was kind of emotional that people would actually step up to this degree. Hagen is turning into Albertsons. Lynette, who I believe is the manager, I think I've met Lynette. That's the store that I go to time or two in my neck of the woods. They donated a semi worth of food, which is huge. They heard us talking about it and just said, you know what, we got to do something, and they did. So big shout out and community hug to Hagen and Albertsons. Also getting reports that Kinez Drywall and Material out of Portland, and I do believe they have a location in Eugene, but Carlos out of Portland is going to be donating a bunch of drywall. It's just like, you know, companies like that, like those, stepping up and going, you know what, we've got a full schedule, and, you know, it might be some expense, but we realize the need that Eugene Mission helps hundreds throughout. And we've had a couple of calls, people saying, yep, I went through Eugene Mission a couple of years ago. How do I help? If you have been there, maybe you had a homeless segment of your life and they were the ones who kind of helped you out of it. I imagine there are not heartstrings, there are heart ropes pulling you and compelling you to do something. If you don't know what we're talking about, there was a fire yesterday. Justin is going to talk about it in the news. A fire gutted the kitchen, and that's a pretty core part of the operation. So we're looking for ready-made, prepared food, and it looks like it's going to be about a month. Talking to Caitlin, they were talking about $300,000 to $500,000 in damage. And who knows? When they start getting into the nuts and bolts of the damage from this fire that happened yesterday morning, it could be even more than that. Eugene Mission. We'll be chatting with Caitlin coming up later this hour, and having Crushburger, who's going to be one of the featured food stars of Truck Fest happening tomorrow. I'll be out there 11 to 3. Love to see you at the Valley River Center parking lot. And you sit there and you go, that's a big parking lot. We'll be on the riverside of the mall, 11 to 3, a benefit for Eugene Mission, first annual Truck Fest. All right, 8:10, 10 after 8 o'clock, news coming up. Justin in for Bill. Stand by, it's 11:20 KPNW.
Somebody coined the phrase, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. If that's true, why do people eat such weird stuff for breakfast? Fried dough, rolled in sugar, mystery meat on an English muffin, stale bread dipped in egg and fried? If breakfast is important, treat it that way with a breakfast from Burrito Amigos, the friendly ones. You get real food real fast, and it's real good. It's no mystery, I'm the bacon guy and love their bacon burritos with 2 types of bacon, I'll remind you. But Burrito Amigos can set you up with link sausage, huevos rancheros, chorizo, meatless burritos, or my new almost favorite, the machaca burrito with black Angus steak, sauteed onions, and green peppers mixed in with potatoes. Delicious. That's a Bill London endorsement, by the way. And mornings were also made for coffee. So stop by the kiosk on 6th in Eugene or 42nd in Springfield and enjoy an espresso along with your meal. Breakfast shouldn't just be important, it should be good. Burrito Amigos in Eugene and Springfield.
The best window sale in Oregon just keeps getting better.
Discount Windows Vinyl 99 sale.
Thousands of overstock windows on site, including Ply Gem windows.
Factory first, overstock windows, just $99 each.
Or less.
Why less, Vic? $99 is an amazing deal.
Lee, the lowest prices on overstock is one reason we're Discount Windows.
You're good, and so is this sale.
Discount Windows, Highway 99, Junction City, open 7 days a week.
For the all-new John Deere riding mowers, tractors, and side-by-sides, think Ramsey Waite.
Make tracks to Ramsey Waite for John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers.
There's nothing like a John Deere Gator utility vehicle. From hard-working and trail-ready to the ultimate in work capability. Get into a Gator now at Ramsey Waite.
Don't just dream about it, wait for it!
Ramsey Waite.
Open Monday through Saturday. Franklin Boulevard, Glenwood. Online at RamseyWaite.com.
Local news, local people. A wake-up call on News Radio 1120. KPNW.
And good morning. This look at the news brought to you by Burrito Amigos, the friendly ones, featuring great breakfast burritos and fresh brewed locally roasted coffee for a tasty start to your morning. I'm Justin Phillips. Here's what's going on. The Eugene Mission has a mission to treat the homeless, get them off the street and into a job. Yesterday morning, they were rocked by a fire that hit the most crucial part of the building.
Everything was a total loss in the kitchen and the fire.
Beyond the kitchen, the dining room was also destroyed. The only thing that did survive was their food refrigeration system. Now they're scrambling without a kitchen and dining room.
The Eugene Mission actually serves 700 meals a day. So there's quite a need for us to continue to feed those folks who are not just guests here, but coming off the streets.
Eugene Mission Development Director Caitlin Vargas says they need help.
So what the Eugene Mission needs right now is food that is ready to eat and bottles of water.
That means deli sandwiches, fresh fruit, pizza, tuna fish, peanut butter, bread, bagels, protein bars, literally food that can be served without being heated. They hope within the next day or two to have enough donated propane and propane stoves to try and serve hot meals, but Vargas says even that will be a challenge.
So kitchen utensils, anything you can think of really in your kitchen, we don't have at this time.
Donations can be dropped off at the center at 1542 West 1st. For the first time since 2012, when the Oregon Secretary of State's office began analyzing the financial condition of counties, it has increased its ranking of Lane County's financial health. Efforts Lane County has undertaken to improve its financial condition include everything from changes to expenditures, position reductions, also aligning revenues with priorities and passing a local tax levy to support programs such as public safety. Commissioner of West Lane County, Jay Bozovich, explains that although this is good news, there is significant work that still needs to be done.
It's not all sunshine and roses with Lane County. We're financially stable. We've done a lot of very smart things with self-insurance and paying off debt, controlling our PERS costs that have made us stable. But it's at a level of service I don't think anyone really thinks is an acceptable level of service.
The good news is that Lane County has managed to stay above the water in a time of financial difficulties. The family of a 13-year-old girl who was sexually abused on a flight from Dallas to Portland says American Airlines didn't do enough to protect her. The family had paid the extra amount to have the airline flight attendants help her. Instead, they allowed Chad Camp to sit next to her, where there were other open seats on the flight. The family's attorney, Brent Goodfellow, tells K2 News Camp was talking to himself and bothering the girl.
He takes his seatbelt off and kind of climbs over her to look out the window. And that's how it started. And so this lasted about a half an hour. Apparently about 15 different touches.
Another passenger alerted a flight attendant. They moved the girl and the witness to the front of the plane and had Camp arrested when the flight arrived in Portland. He faces a federal charge of abusive sexual contact. American Airlines says they're committed to providing a safe travel experience for young passengers. They referred other questions to law enforcement. Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley says the shooting at the Orlando nightclub needs to bring change in gun control and anti-discrimination laws. Brad Ford reports.
Democratic senators filibustered for nearly 15 hours to force a debate on gun control measures. Senator Jeff Merkley says he expects votes on two bills next week.
One on the terrorism loophole and one on the background check loophole.
Merkley says the shooting also points out the need for Congress to pass anti-discrimination legislation because of the action some states are taking to remove LGBT rights.
Completely inconsistent with our vision of equality under the law. It's completely inconsistent with our vision of opportunity for all Americans.
Merkley says it encourages discrimination and attacks that have happened across the country. Brad Ford, News Radio 1120 KPNW.
A Lincoln County fugitive is back behind bars after 19 years on the run. 24-year-old Eric DeCleve of Newport was arrested in May of 1997 after admitting he gave two girls ages 9 and 13 controlled substances and raped them. He was released on bail and fled the country. An extradition warrant was issued. In 2004, U.S. immigration officials learned that DeCleve might be in Mexico, but agents couldn't track him down. This last February, the FBI found DeCleve living and working under an assumed name in Cancun, Mexico. He was returned to Newport this month to stand trial and is being held on $3 million bail. The Marion County District Attorney's Office has decided that a 16-year-old Kaiser boy was justified in using deadly force in the fatal stabbing of a 45-year-old man. Authorities say Jeffrey Holly of Monmouth died as a result of stab wounds on April 15th at a home on Brooks Avenue northeast in Kaiser. The district attorney's office says Holly had been in a relationship with the boy's mother since 2014 and that numerous calls had been made to police for domestic violence and fights at the Kaiser home. Police say Holly showed up at the house intoxicated on April 15th, forced his way into the boy's bedroom and began hitting the teen. The teen told police he stabbed Holly multiple times when he advanced on him again, saying he was fearful after the repeated threats. A Portland man's Facebook post about assault rifles has gone viral. Buck Jepson went into the U.S. gun store on Barber Boulevard and asked about assault rifles. He posted the conversation.
I thought maybe I could talk one or two of them into going into their own stores and asking questions and learning, maybe stepping back and not being quite so judgmental right away.
Jepson tells K2 News that he supports the Second Amendment but thinks there might need to be restrictions on assault-type rifles. The store posted a response that Jepson's post was not representative of what they said and was an outright fabrication. The Facebook post has been shared more than 26,000 times. About a third of the staff of an Oregon wildlife refuge that was taken over by armed protesters will probably leave their jobs because of the lingering effects of the occupation, the refuge manager said Thursday. Some worry about being confronted by the other protesters who sympathize with the anti-government group that took over the Malnauer National Wildlife Refuge for 41 days earlier this year, Manager Chad Kargas said. Others are simply worn down by having to retell their story to others. Refuge has a staff of 16, says Cargis, who was in Colorado to accept an award from the National Wildlife Federation. The award praised Cargis and his staff for building a good relationship with nearby residents long before the takeover. In an interview, Cargis said the Refuge staff had worked for years to involve residents in decision-making, and that was the reason most opposed the occupation. Typically, when there's a tie at something, the way to break it is to flip a coin. But on Friday in Salem, it will be a roll of the dice to decide the seat for Hillsborough District 30. The outcome will determine whether Republican Dan Mason or Democrat Janine Salmon will get the independent party nod. The tiebreaker will take place at the Capitol with both candidates present. The winner will end up on the ballot in November. And finally, Oregon's berry crop has survived record winter rain and several early season heat waves. It looks to be of good quality according to crop consultant Tom Bierholtz. The Marion, Oregon's top blackberry, is typically harvested around the 4th of July, but the weather will allow it to be harvested 2 weeks early this year. It was also available early last year, but Bierholtz says the additional moisture helped the process of the crop this season. This look at the news has been brought to you by Burrito Amigos, the friendly ones. I'm Justin Phillips. You're up to date on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
Wake Up Call Sports on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
LeBron James put the Cleveland Cavaliers on his shoulders squarely and had his second consecutive game of 41 points as the Cavs shoot down the step-slow Warriors 115-101 to force a Game 7. 3 quick fouls hampered Kevin Love. He never got going. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, kind of there, 55 points combined for Golden State. But Curry ejected after throwing his famous mouthpiece into the crowd. No team has ever come back from being down 3-1 to win the championship. Cavs hope to buck history on Sunday. Seattle, Copa. The U.S. held off Ecuador 2-1. Clint Dempsey with the first score, his 13th in the last 18 international appearances. They'll probably face Mr. Messi and Argentina in New Jersey in a week for a chance to play in the final. U.S. Open at Oakmont. The winner of day one, the weather. Only 9 players finished their rounds. They'll have the dubious task of getting a first round finished and then start on the second round. Currently, former Oregon golfer Aaron Wise through 3 is 2 over. Andrew Landry, still the leader, clubhouse 4 under, but Lee Westwood and Scott Piercy knocking on the door at 3 under. By the way, the weather today, the forecast in Oakmont, some clouds, a little bit of sunshine, and a high of 84, only a 10% chance of rain, and that's a good thing. And U of O track stars Devin Allen and Edward Cheserek selected as men's finalists for the Bowerman, which is the equivalent of the Heisman Trophy in track and field. And last night, Shasta Ballfield, Oregon 50A League. Land Green hardwood floors. The softball team came back in extra innings to beat late for dinner, said Rob Holloway of Land Green. Guys really came together, and we can really realize that we can win because it was our first win. Wake Up Call Sports on KPNW, brought to you by Max Muscle. Try the new Max Pro Protein Powder lineup. Chocolate malt, blueberry, strawberry, banana. On Franklin, across from Market of Choice, news time 8:22.
KPNW weather brought to you by Ramjack West. Do you have foundation problems? Ramjack can fix that. Get your free quote at ramjackwest.com.
Tonight, showers and possibly a thunderstorm before midnight. Then a chance of showers. Low around 49. West-northwest wind 5 to 9 miles per hour, becoming calm after midnight. Chance of showers is 80%. I'm Sarah Madison with your NBC 16 weather report.
Ramjack leads the way in foundation repair. Protect your investment. Get your free in-home evaluation at ramjackwest.com. Check out our exceptional online reviews, then choose Ramjack.
CCB 146906. Built for business.
In business, time is money, and business money is also money. No wonder nearly 1,000 businesses choose Comcast Business Internet over DSL from the phone company every single day. Not only is it up to 5 times faster, it's actually a better value when you go with the fastest plan. So take a minute out of your busy schedule and call Comcast Business. It will be well worth your time and your money.
Switch to Comcast Business Internet. Then add voice and TV for just $34.90 a month. And ask about our 2-year price guarantee. Call 800-501-6000 or visit ComcastBusiness.com. Comcast Business. Built for business.
Offer ends 8/31/16. Restrictions apply. Limited to one voice line and private view TV for new customers. 2-year contract required. Requires Comcast Business Internet and an additional monthly charge. Equipment, taxes, and fees, including broadcast TV fee extra. Savings claim based on cost per megabits per second. Compares Comcast 100 megabits per second and 20 megabits per second DSL downloads.
Is your body getting enough protein every day? Try Max Pro at Max Muscle. These protein shakes are packed with protein, very low carbs, and zero sugar. Chocolate malt, strawberry banana smoothie, blueberry, and more. Max Muscle. Try it before you buy it. Franklin Boulevard, across from the Market of Choice.
Here's your chance to check out Eugene's finest food trucks, chow down on some of the most mouth-watering food in town, and support the Eugene mission all at the same time. Selco Community Credit Union presents the first annual Eugene Food Truck Fest on Saturday, June 18th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Valley River Center parking lot. Foodies, families, and fun seekers, bring your appetites and choose your favorite from dozens of Eugene's most innovative food trucks. While the DJ spins, your kids can jump and bounce in the kids zone. Free admission, June 18th, Valley River Center parking lot.
We asked kids what it took to be a dad. This is what they had to say.
A father is always present. I mean, what real father figure can you have if they're not there?
In order to be a good dad, you need to love your son. You need to put gas in your car so you don't break down in the middle of nowhere. And you need to make them breakfast. Yep.
I mean, just to maybe play like a board game with me, or to just stay home and play some video games with me. Just to do like that one little thing is what I really look forward to.
I'm not asking him to be a perfect dad, but he should try. He's just a constant force in my life.
There's no other type of love like a dad's love because it's not comparable to anything else.
Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Talked about this earlier, the gift of a mattress. And maybe Dad, maybe he doesn't understand the mattress quality that he has. Instead of throwing him on the couch, let's take like a group. It could be a part of Sunday's events where you are maybe going to lunch or a picnic, or he's getting golf or a barbecue, and then just maybe schedule. You don't have to tell him we're going to Sleep Train for a siesta. Kind of a weird place to maybe go on Father's Day, but not when you think about the gift of sleep and the red, white, and blue sale, which is going on right now. Talking about a great deal, $300 off Beauty Rest Posturepedic. You've heard that I've talked about. 3 years interest-free financing on Sleep Train's exclusive new Tempur HD models. You're not going to find them anywhere else. When you lie your head down on one of those, you'll be like, okay, this is pretty cool, pretty special. Red, white, and blue sale going on all weekend long, and we're talking about some great deals and maybe something for Dad this week. You never know. You never know. Same-day delivery, a part of it, and that 100-day low-price guarantee. When you go to a location near you in Eugene, Springfield, Corvallis, and Salem, tell them you're like this with the like this with the wake-up call. Your ticket to a better night's rest.
It never rains when the wake-up call takes to the air. News Radio 1120 KPNW.
$8:27. I was telling Craig Chee that when we realized that we were having him and his lovely wife on the show, I had this date circled, which is a bad thing to do because it was on a computer. And anytime you take a highlighter, it's not probably advisable. But the day is here, the celebrated day. Craig Chee making his Eugene. What is it like coming back to Eugene? Kind of like your old stomping grounds now that you live in San Diego.
Home away from home. It is like returning to family. There's been a lot of changes in the last couple of years, which I'm surprised at.
Changes for our community.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many new buildings. There's so many things under construction. I mean, it's unbelievable driving through downtown. I mean, it looks great, but I know there's just a lot of different things. So I'm kind of actually eager to kind of check everything out and see what's going on.
Okay, for people that don't know, kind of talk about. You went to school here, and
yep, I went to the University of Oregon, and met the lovely person sitting next to me on the kind of ukulele circuit, and we ended up doing a lot of festivals together, and we started collaborating, and we were joking about, oh my gosh, we're so lucky that we're not dating because it would screw everything up, and now we're married. So
and how much did that screw things up?
So far, we're okay. So far,
okay. Doing okay.
I've heard differing stories that I want to clarify the myth, because I've heard that you picked up the uke here, and then I've heard that you were already an accomplished player before you got here.
I started in Hawaii. I grew up in Hawaii. Once, and I played cello and piano mostly, but when I discovered I was going to the University of Oregon, I said, oh, I need to pick up something cooler than a cello. And so I picked up the ukulele, brought it here, started playing. I was lucky enough to take some lessons under Jake Shimbabukuro and Troy Fernandez that really helped jumpstart my playing and how to apply my classical training to this little awesome instrument. But it wasn't until Eugene that really pushed me as a musician, from thrown into the music dorm as a freshman and not having people know like Hawaiian music forced me to do like blues and funk and all this other stuff that I never thought the ukulele could even do. So that was like part of that push. And after college, staying up here and doing like music downtown with and joining the music scene down there really helped establish myself as a musician, as an artist, and also just the greater understanding of how things kind of worked in that sense. And it is an incredible, nourishing environment. And not only did we have the downtown music scene, but there's so many great ukulele communities within Eugene itself that really helped just build me to who I am today.
Coming back from New Orleans, I was sitting there kind of a little bit bummed out. You're going to miss out on the food and the music. And then you get here and you're like, there really is kind of an undercurrent of music that people don't really talk about and acknowledge until you get here and you're like, this is like a headquarters.
Yeah, it really is. And there's a reason, especially for the ukulele scene, why so many artists, so many internationally known artists will make stops in Eugene. There's such a great community with Mele Ohana, the ukuleles. It's just absolutely amazing, and the Aloha Friday events that happen, once a month at Cosmic now, which is great.
Which I do believe you might have something to be involved with.
Is that tonight?
It's tonight.
That's tonight.
It's all a blur.
It really is.
By the way, if you're just joining us, Craig Sheen, his lovely wife Sarah, and his lovely friend Milo are in studio today. So the trek to San Diego, and Sarah, you can kind of chime in too, as far as getting out of Eugene and going to San Diego. Has it done wonders? What maybe you thought it might help with the career? Has it done that?
Well, I mean, the main reason, there were two main reasons for the move, and one of them being that one of his brothers is in LA, so he would be closer to his older brother and wife and now nephew. And then the other was actually the airport. San Diego has beautiful weather all the time, so there's very rarely delays, and we knew that we were going to be doing lots of traveling, and so that kind of sealed the deal as far as that move went. And we've been just traveling all over creation, which has been really a ton of fun.
Have you adjusted to that pesky sunshine? Have you got used to the climate down there?
Well, it's funny. We're trying to tally up how many days since I moved down there we actually stayed in San Diego. We ended up flying over like 110,000 miles last year just for festivals and other music events around the world. So we ended up staying maybe 35% of the year at home.
Yeah.
So I'm still
Do you like
trying
that?
to adjust.
Is that desirable?
It's crazy.
It is and it isn't. Like, we love traveling, we love meeting new people, but at the same time, I miss cooking. I miss, when we come home, it's like the tornado hit the house, because it's just, do laundry, repack, leave, come back, take stuff out of the dryer, repack, leave. Yeah.
What's the most, if you guys are going all over the world, the most exotic or the most memorable place that you've played in the last year?
Last year we had a schedule where we went from like Canada straight to Australia to the UK to Japan.
Wow.
And it was just, Japan was awesome.
Japan has Now, just so you know, I say uke. I know it's ook, but I say uke just because
uke is fine.
Uke is okay. Uke is like slang for ukulele, but it is ukulele.
Right.
That's the
But uke
full
is
on
fine.
word.
I
Yeah.
just want full disclosure. I haven't committed yet.
Yes.
Japan has quite the
Huge,
quite the
huge,
culture
huge.
for it.
Because of the ties with all the tourism with Japan and Hawaii, you have a lot of that hula picked up, a lot of the ukulele picked up. It's becoming huge in the UK with artists like Formby and
George Formby was like their big star.
and Roy Smick. Styles. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. In Australia, you have all these singer-songwriters who are really utilizing it. I mean, it's so cool to see so many different cultures pick up the instrument in its own way, where it's not necessarily tied to Hawaiian music anymore. So it's very cool. Very, very cool.
Will I get free sushi if I go over there and drop the name? Chi. Hey, I know Chi. We're like this. You have ukes, and I see Milo. Everybody's brandishing an instrument.
Yeah, Milo is using a Ohana ukulele bass.
Oh.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Wow. Throaty.
It's a lot easier to carry than is upright.
Yeah.
Let's get an advanced preview of what's going to be happening tonight at Cosmic. Do you mind?
Sure, I would love to. This song is off the new album that was produced by homegrown legend Tyler Fortier, and this is also a song that he wrote on the album called "Center of My Mind." 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do to rest is keep you in my mind and hold you till I'm fine and wait for the sun to die.
You know, from this house we'll build a home and grow like a wild tale grows, and the story's always told by lovers in the fold of a heart that beats so big. Everyone come see that moon, it's hanging like a picture in the sky. Everyone come crowd around the big old moon, shining like a diamond in the night. And I'll meet you there, my love, in the center of my mind. Everyone come crowd around the big old moon, shining like a diamond in the night. And I'll meet you there, my love, center of my mind.
I love the direction. Craig Chi and Sarah and Milo. That was beautiful.
Thank
you.
Really incredible. And Sarah Mizell, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the film? Is there a film going on tonight?
No.
Oh, the little in between entertainment thing. They're going to talk about ukuleles in film, and they're going to talk about some of the movies that showcase the ukulele.
Have you been asked, either of you, to be a part of a film soundtrack?
That is something that I actually wanted to really pursue a bit later after everything kind of dies down, is because I love film soundtracks. So just how you can convey so much emotion and so much storytelling with just instruments. That would be actually very fun to do later.
I was thinking yesterday as we were getting ready for the show today that with everything that has happened, not just locally and regionally, but nationwide and worldwide with all the craziness, it is great to have an instrument like the ook, where it's such a happy, like you can just kind of escape and it just gives you good feelings. Do you find that? Does it give you good feelings to make it, or right now is it such an instrument that is a part of you that you don't even see an emotion?
There is something so incredibly special about this instrument where there's a reason why it's been globally taking off. There is a reason why the ukulele community it just has that tendency to be just people full of just positivity, and it's just absolutely amazing.
And the other thing about it too is almost every uke player you meet has some kind of story, like I was depressed, or I was trying to find a way to connect with my grandchildren, or there's always some kind of positive story that comes out of playing the instrument, and I think that's pretty amazing too.
What are if somebody wants to pick up an instrument, and maybe I'm thinking about my 5-year-old and kids in the elementary schools, what opportunities do they have that you know of? I mean, I know you're removed a couple of years, but you kind of know what's going on grassroots wise here organically. How can people pick up a ukulele
in Eugene?
Yeah,
in Eugene we have one of the best ukulele stores on the West Coast. It's called Pacific Winds Music.
Sure.
And they have an incredible selection of from entry level ukuleles to like high end Hawaii made ukuleles, from Kamaka to Koloha to Kanalea, and they also do some classes, and you'll have a lot of we just did a bass workshop last night, and we'll be doing another intro to jazz on the ukulele tomorrow night.
Which is a lot easier than you think.
That you'll be a part of?
We'll be teaching it.
Yeah. And so actually, if we have some time later, I'd love to showcase some of her jazz stuff on the ukulele, which is just great. But yeah, it's so versatile, and it's so easy to pick up and play. There are there's instructors like us that teach over Skype, and we have an online course now with Artist Works, which is a phenomenal online school. And it's just, there's so many venues to learn from. And starting off first is check out Pacific Winds Music next to Sweet Life. And they have a list of like everything ukulele related there that you could be a part of. There's like 2 or 3 different groups now that meet once a month. Just incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good to know. And they're down on 11th, right? East 11th?
They're 8th and Monroe.
Yeah, 8th and Monroe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're right by Noli and Sweet Life, same like block.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Gotcha.
My 2 favorite restaurants.
So is Cosmic now World Pies and is Cosmic Productions? Is that same location that Cosmic Pizza used to be at, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you guys will be going on, doors open at 5 o'clock. Show starts at 6.
Yes.
Yep.
And you guys, Craig Chi and Sarah, the return.
Yep.
This is amazing.
It'll be a blast.
So and what about, will you have CDs and things like that afterwards?
Oh, yeah. We'll have CDs,
Okay.
and I make ukulele straps as well, so I'll have those too.
Man, you guys are such a happy couple.
Busy bees.
Continued success. Please keep in touch, and anytime you even come close to the county, come on in for a return, because we love having you on.
It's great to see you.
Thank you so much.
Craig Chi and Sarah Mizell, and of course Milo Fultz.
Yep.
On the bass. Check them out today. Cosmic at doors open at 5. Show starts at 6 on 1120 KPNW.
The Bloomberg Market Report, sponsored by Pacific Continental Bank, serving your business and community in Eugene for over 40 years.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. U.S. stocks are lower on Wall Street. The Dow is falling 108 points to 17,624. S&P 500 index down 13 points. The Nasdaq dropping 50. Stocks retreating today amid uncertainty over next week's outcome of a UK referendum on European Union membership. Jim Awad, Managing Director at Plimsoll Mark Capital.
We continue in the short term to be focused like a laser beam on the Brexit issue, because if it happened, it's a black swan leading to uncertainty and downside consequences.
U.S. home construction slipped 0.3% in May amid declines in the Northeast and Midwest. And Ford's SUVs is selling so well it's cutting its traditional 2-week summer shutdown in half of its plants in Louisville, Chicago, and Ontario. Ford says it will use the extra week to make another 22,000 SUVs. Donna Wilson, Bloomberg Radio.
Pacific Continental Bank is proud to call the Eugene Springfield area home for more than 40 years. As your local banker, partner, and neighbor, we are committed to the health and sustainability of your business and our community. We know it takes more than a loan or deposit to help you succeed. It takes people who know you, your business, and your community. Who says we can't be more than a bank? Pacific Continental Bank, the right bank. Learn more at therightbank.com. Member FDIC.
Get set to save now at Mid-Valley Tractor, your local Kubota dealer. Take command of your lawn care needs with a new Kubota Commander zero-turn mower. Get commercial-grade performance and a full 4-year factory warranty at a price you can afford. Now during the Get Set to Save sales event, get a special introductory price of $38.99 and 0 down and 0% financing for 36 months. Now through June 30, 2016. Call toll-free 1-800-794-4992 for details about cost and terms. Great prices, great products from people you can trust. Mid-Valley Tractor on Highway 99.
Bill and Tim's is barbecue and a whole lot more.
Bill, barbecue is the very air we breathe.
I know, Tim, but it isn't for everyone all the time. That's why Bill and Tim's expanded menu is a big hit.
True, we don't look like a men's club in here anymore.
Golden mac and cheese balls, Mexican specialty dishes, gourmet salads. What new dish will you be trying today, Tim?
I'm ready to branch out.
Great.
Give me the barbecue bacon cheeseburger.
Tim. Bill and Tim's Barbecue.
Open at 11 daily.
13th and Pearl in Eugene.
Shopping for your next grill at Midgley's is easy and convenient. Unlike home improvement stores, a walk across Midgley's doesn't require a relay baton. We know all about grills, too. Just don't ask us about sandpaper or toilet seats. And you don't need to remember where you parked. Our customer-friendly lot is directly behind our store. Get your next grill at Midgley's. We're at 7th and Chambers in Eugene. Midgley's. Anywhere else, and you're just playing with fire.
CCB 161946. KPNW weather brought to you by Ramjack West. Do you have foundation problems? Ramjack can fix that. Get your free quote at ramjackwest.com.
For the rest of the week, we've got some slow-moving weather patterns as this upper-low pressure system lingers in our region. The upper low will eventually move northeast, but that will take until late Saturday, so you can expect scattered showers Saturday morning. Later, we will see a high-pressure system build, bringing temperatures to the 90s. I'm Sarah Madison with your NBC 16 Weather Report.
Whoop-dee-doo, whoop-dee-doo. I hear a polka and my troubles are through.
That concludes the musical portion of our program. And now, ladies and gentlemen,
The Wake Up Call with Holloway in London on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
847, Ryan Dixon was our last winner this week of James Taylor tickets. Getting ready for the big show July 15th. If you want to get your tickets, check out the Matthew Knight Arena website and get them while they last. Going to be here before you know it. And congratulations to all our winners, including the grand prize winner yesterday, Front Row and OES. All right, like I said earlier, I was kind of voicing this kind of guilt because here we are talking about bringing food and bottled water and everything to Eugene Mission. And here Caitlin from Eugene Mission is kind of slightly responsible for food being brought to our radio station.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
First off, how are you doing? You've got to be on this emotional like roller coaster of, yeah, you're excited about, Truck Fest and things like that, but with the fire and everybody kind of reaching out, hopefully a bunch, it's got to be kind of an up and down last 24 hours.
I agree. I think it was an emotional day for everybody. We Started the day with just visibly seeing the charred remains of our kitchen, which was really tough to see, and just kind of as a staff banded together and just honestly really praise the Lord, no one was hurt. It could have been way worse is really the take home. But the cool thing was, as the day went on, spirits were lifted. We just saw car after car driving down the street with donations. We were getting money coming in. Northwest Community Credit Union gave us $10,000 for our deductible for insurance. I mean, there's just so many folks that stepped up.
You found out about it while you were at the TV station.
Yeah, we had gone to KMTR for the morning show with Alan Matthews, and we were sitting there. It's about 5:50 in the morning. Just, okay, hope we look good on TV. And then all of a sudden he goes, hey, so let's talk about the fire. And we both say, it was Courtney and I both say, what fire? So, of course, we get on our phones right away and we're calling people. And our executive director, Jack, had sent out an email, but since our internet was fried at the time, didn't go out to anyone. So people weren't finding out until they were showing up to work or other folks were calling. So it was a pretty shocking morning.
We've been talking about bottled water and monetary donation and things like that. Is there anything that people might not know? Anything arise in the last 24 hours that we haven't talked about that you really have a crucial need for?
We actually still have a need for volunteers tomorrow. So now that we're dealing with this catastrophic event at the Eugene Mission, we had to pull a lot of staff and folks away from helping at the Eugene Food Truck Fest event tomorrow to really make sure we were doing okay at the mission. So now we're in a deficit of folks to help us out. So if there's still guys and gals that want to come out and get a free t-shirt and help out this awesome event, you would just email EFTF@eugenemission.org or give us a call.
Do it one more time. Contact information.
Email.
If they can volunteer.
Yeah, if you want to volunteer tomorrow, you're going to email EFTF, which are the initials for Eugene Food Truck Fest, at eugenemission.org or call 541-344-3251.
And what kind of commitment would they be looking at? A couple of hours?
Yeah, 2 to 4 hours. Just depends on what you're interested in. But you could greet people. You could help in the food areas, stage, hospitality tent. There's a ton of different things to do. And you'll be smack dab in the action. And honestly, giving your time to Eugene Mission is just as important as giving a sandwich or $5.
Well said. I like that. Do you want to? We'll give you the honors of introducing our star here.
Yeah. So as we were gathering food trucks, each one has such a cool and unique story, and I found Crush Burger from LCC, and they kind of have a hook that no one else has. So I'd like to welcome Mike O'Neill.
How you doing?
Mike, what's the hook?
Well, so the Trush Burger is part of the LCC Food Services out there, and we put that together while we were remodeling our kitchen space over the last couple of years, and now we send it out to different events to try and help raise money or awareness about different things, and everything that's on the menu is as sustainable and as local as possible. So all the buns are baked by local bakeries. All the burger meat is from Junction City at Childers Farms and is raised off the spent Nikasi grains. We do as much as we can to keep everything else as local as possible. And today I brought you a burger that we created just for the Food Truck Fest. And
just for tomorrow.
Yes, but I'm being told that we need to continue to carry it, so maybe we will.
Pretty mind-blowing.
You gave me a portion of one. Can you describe while I try it?
Sure, this is our ridiculousness burger. So it is a glazed donut that we cut in half, buttered, and put on the grill. Cooked one of our burgers
Rob's
with bacon, cheese,
priceless.
And then peanut butter. And I know it sounds weird, but take a bite, and I'm pretty sure...
Whose idea was this?
Mine, but definitely helped
the
from staff.
mastermind in the studio.
You are not a kind gentleman.
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not really heart friendly, but it is very, very tasty.
But pocket friendly and belly friendly.
Yes.
That is amazing. That is unlike anything I've ever had.
A little bit of sweet, a little bit of savory.
What does it mean for you, especially in light of what happened yesterday, to be a part of history tomorrow? Because this is going to be a first annual event.
Yeah, I mean, we were excited about doing it in the first place. We think, we already support the mission as best we can by sending any leftover food that we do have from the school or our catering division over to the mission. So we already had a really good relationship there. But when I heard about the Food Truck Fest, we really wanted to participate. But in light of what happened the other night, we are encouraging just everybody to get out there. We're going to stay as long as we have food, and we'll continue to serve until we don't have anything else to serve, and so we can raise absolutely the most amount of money for the mission as possible.
So everybody that is involved with Crush, are they part of the culinary department out there at LCC? Is that how that works?
Yeah, it's all part of the same division. So we have the culinary arts and hospitality, the catering division, and food services are all together, and Crush Burger's part of that.
Question off the email: do you guys cater?
Our catering divisions do, and then yes, we do. The food truck does come out to different events. We've done some private events, and obviously we're doing the Food Truck Fest and whatnot.
Okay, take it from me. You're going to blow people away, and people are going to be like newfound fans of Crush. And so, where can people find you when you're not, say, at Truck Fest?
Oh, so normally we're on campus Monday through Friday.
Lane Community College.
Right, and then we have our Facebook page is when we start doing other events. We'll start putting it on out there. We're just now kind of getting the truck out to the public. It's been kind of a secret there for the students for a while. But we moved the concept inside to our new cafeteria, and so the truck's a little bit more available to go out and do different things and help raise money for different causes.
They're going to be vegetarians. They're going to be they are going to hear about this burger, and they're going to search you out.
Well,
what else do we need to know about the event tomorrow?
Just the main thing is it might have a slight chance of drizzle. Put your hood on. Put your coat on. It doesn't matter. Come out.
Man or woman up, right?
Yeah, we're still going to have amazing food, music. We're going to have everything, and just don't be afraid of a few droplets, right?
40% is nothing, okay?
Okay.
99 to 100%. Like when we're flooding, that's when you go, okay, well, baby.
Yeah,
but
maybe that bouncy house should not turn into a mobile boat for kids.
Right. But that's not going to happen.
Right.
Not going to happen. Anything that we haven't talked about the event that you think would hook somebody into coming out?
I think one of the greatest things about tomorrow is that you can try a new food truck. Like you probably haven't been to LCC's campus to try Crush Burger. So try something new. Try a bunch of trucks. With your group of friends, get a bunch of different things so you can try it all, and then you can vote for your favorite. We got some cool awards. We got some tasting competitions happening. So be part of the action and help your favorite truck bring home the prize.
Okay, so we have another question off the email. We know that Knez Drywall Material out of Portland has stepped up and made a huge, at least that's what we heard over the phone, that they're going to be making a big donation. We know that Hagen/Albertsons brought in a big truck. Yep. As far as construction, are you covered, or do you have any needs in that area?
You probably have to call the Eugene Mission for that one. I've been in event planning bubble.
Gotcha.
So I haven't been back since yesterday, and yesterday was a pretty overwhelming day with just getting everything coordinated. But please call the mission and just ask. We're very transparent about our needs and what we're working on, and what we're still needing from the community.
And if you have monetary donations or stuff or anything that you can provide, because we're talking about utensils, when you lose a kitchen, you lose everything that's in that kitchen. Just come by 1542 first and drop it off.
Yep. Yeah, everything you need for a kitchen, even like the high chairs for the kiddos that come eat there. We are going to be in need of all of that. So you can come down 1542 West 1st Avenue. Donations are accepted on site or online, www.eugenemission.org.
And we'll see you tomorrow, 11 to 3 at VRC.
Make sure you check out SM Gun Shop before you buy at a big box store. SM Gun Shop takes trades, and they have a large selection of quality used firearms with competitive pricing. SM Gun Shop on River Road in Eugene, serving Lane County's gun enthusiasts since 1980.
So admittedly, I'm on the road today, but one of the things that it occurs to me is that there's some people who aren't on the road, mainly because the car broke down, and they're having a hard time getting into a car, a new car, or any kind of car because, well, their credit's upside down. It may have been a medical bill that totally just turned them around. It could have been credit cards or student loans. anything, even maybe a mortgage that just went horribly wrong. Well, at Guarantee Discount Chevrolet, the cool thing is they have the Good People with Bad Credit program that helps you get into a quality, safe, reliable car, truck, SUV, or van within 48 hours or less. That's right. It's the Good People with Bad Credit program. They'll help you get to work, and they'll help you get your credit back. So give them a call. Guarantee Discount Chevrolet, 541-998-2333, 541-998-2333. It's the Guarantee Discount Chevrolet Good People with Bad Credit program.
Local news, local people, Holloway in London, and the Wake Up Call.
I want you to get up now.
On News Radio 1120, KPNW.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're a guy over 40 and you want to stay on top of your game, try a sample bottle of GNC's top-selling, award-winning Nugenix. Listen, if you're experiencing lower sex drive, general sluggishness, and decreased performance, Nugenix is a powerful man-boosting formula. For 2013, it won GNC's Innovative Product of the Year and was also named GNC's #1 selling men's vitality product. Get a complimentary bottle now by texting BOOST to 99000. Nugenix uses a clinically researched key ingredient to invigorate a man's body and increase his libido. Enjoy more passion, higher sex drive, improved performance. Be more the man you want to be in the gym and in the bedroom. You want to stay on top of your game, don't you? Then try top-selling, award-winning Nugenix and feel like the best man you can be. Nugenix is available at GNC and Vitamin Shop, but you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting BOOST to 99000. Again, text BOOST to 99000.
Fox News, fair and balanced. We report, you decide. On News Radio 1120, KPNW Eugene.
Fox News Radio, I'm Paul Stevens. Dozens of U.S. diplomats telling the White House to ramp up military strikes in Syria and do it before it's too late. More on that live now from Washington with Fox's Rachel Sutherland.
Paul, more than 50 State Department officials have signed an internal memo with a call for attacks on the Syrian regime, a position that at odds with current U.S. policy. The diplomats expressed disappointment that the U.S. has not done more to stop Syria's civil war. The Obama administration has said it does not want a confrontation with Russia, which is helping the U.S.-led coalition against ISIS, but wants Syria's embattled president to remain in power. State Department spokesman John Kirby confirmed the existence of the cable, but withheld comment until officials review it. Paul.
And Rachel, that word coming as there's concern from U.S. officials that Russia is ramping up its attack on U.S.-backed Syrian rebels in the area. Assistance being solicited and offered for survivors and families of victims from last weekend's Orlando nightclub shooting.
There were individuals in the club that night that may not have suffered a physical injury, but you know that they have suffered a mental trauma. And if you have a friend or a family member who is affected, please encourage them to seek help.
That is Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer. He's also offering a section of a city-owned cemetery to families of deceased victims as a burial ground and a memorial for those lost in the shooting. News that's going to affect likely this year's Summer Olympics. We're just in that the World Athletics governing body, the IAAF, is upholding a ban on Russian track and field athletes imposed after a state-sponsored doping scandal. That ban in place ahead of the Summer Olympics in Rio. Now, there is word the International Olympics Committee may hear individual appeals from athletes in the coming days. You're listening to Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Is the economy booming? Why is the stock market up? Hey, it's an election year. Anything goes. No matter who wins, stocks look overbought. Move into silver. Use your retirement account. Do it right. Why pay setup and storage fees? Special offer. Free setup and storage fees. Learn how. Call Goldworth. Request your guide free. 800-257-GOLD. 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 Visit goldworth.com.
Are you concerned about your prostate? Do you pee more often than you used to? Be honest, is there a drop in your romantic life? You need to call for a free bottle of Super Beta Prostate. With Super Beta Prostate, you'll have less urges to urinate, less waking at night, and an improvement in your romantic life guaranteed. Try it free. Pay only shipping and handling. Call 1-800-458-7435. 1-800-458-7435. 1-800-458-7435.
from the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Deb Carson.
Baylor University and former football coach Art Briles have reached a contract settlement, according to the Bleacher Report. Details have not yet been released. Game 6 of the NBA Finals, the Cavaliers ripped the Warriors 115-101 to force a Game 7. LeBron James with a double-double, 41 points, 11 rebounds for Cleveland. Steph Curry of the Warriors fouled out and was ejected in the third quarter, finished with just 30 points. Game 7 and Sunday night in Oakland. Meanwhile, golf first-round play has resumed at the U.S. Open. Andrew Landry is in the clubhouse with a lead at 4 under par, has a one-stroke lead currently over Lee Westwood and Scott Piercy. Just getting their rounds underway, Phil Mickelson is even through 2 holes. Jason Day 1 over par through 2. A rough first round for Rory McIlroy, who finished the first round 7 over par.
Chevrolet has more 2016 J.D. Power Dependability Awards than any other brand. At Kendall Chevrolet, they have over 175 new Chevrolets, all priced with huge savings to get you on the road in a vehicle you can trust. Visit ChevroletofEugene.com or stop by today.
Tired of expensive movie theater popcorn or standing in line or having to drive home after watching the big game at your annoying uncle's house? It sounds like you need to have the folks from TV Specialty in your life. Nobody does TVs like TV Specialty. Think a home theater system is out of the question or out of the budget? Call TV Specialty and see how close you really are. 541-688-5061. It's quality backed by service at TV Specialty. 541-688-5061.
Tired of long wait times and high prices at your local boat repair shop? The Boat Dock LLC Marine Repair in Springfield has the fastest turnover. With state-of-the-art test equipment and on-site test tank, the jobs are done right the first time. From simple tune-ups and water pumps to complete repowers on all types of marine powerboats, the Boat Dock LLC is the shop to visit at 1252 30th Street in Springfield, a Better Business Bureau accredited business. Visit their website at eugeneboatrepair.com. That's eugeneboatrepair.com.
The Wake Up Call Mattress Mania Team Challenge is right around the corner. Friday, July 15th at Springfield Golf Club. Shotgun start 8 a.m. Tons of fun and great prizes, like the Oak Grove Guns $1 Million Shot, a 50-foot putt for $5,000 sponsored by Cuthbert Amphitheater, and a bushel of cash hole-in-one brought to you by Dietering Orchards. Of course, there's KP Long Drive, Straight Drive for men and women. Register now at KPNW.com. $99 gets you golf and lunch in our 2-person scramble July 15th. It's the Wake Up Call Mattress Mania Team Challenge. Register today.
It's 9:06 and time for Rush. Rush Limbaugh on News Radio 1120 KPNW.
You know, this is getting incredible. All the people who had encounters with the Orlando shooter. And some of them even told the FBI and nothing happened. They're always telling us, if you spot anything, tell us, let us know, call the authorities. A lot of people did that, nothing happened. The FBI had the guy on his watch list twice. It's Friday, folks, so that means we got to hit
And now,
get going
from
here.
sunny South Florida, it's Open Line Friday.
Open Line Friday, whatever you want to talk about, pretty much covers it. Doesn't have to be the news of the day, although the news of the day is what's compelling. I'm just throwing it out there as an opportunity if you want to branch out. Like, yesterday we had a guy who wanted to talk about net neutrality. Wanted me to explain what it was. I said, we're not talking about that today. That's not going to be in place. I said, call back tomorrow. You might not want to hear about net neutrality today either, but I knew you didn't yesterday. Greetings, my friends. 800-282-2882. If you want to be on the program, the email address lrushbo@eibnet.com. So the gun shop owner, the guy walks into the gun shop and wants to buy body armor. And there isn't any body armor, so he gets on the phone and he calls somebody, starts speaking in a foreign language. The gun shop owner is beside himself because they didn't make the sale. He didn't get the guy's name. He didn't get any ID. There was nothing to report. And the guy's been talking to the media today. He feels sick. He said the guy was right in my shop. He was right here. He's requesting body armor. That's suspicious as hell. Then he starts speaking this foreign language, and it was obvious.